Hello, my name is Mark10967 and today I'm going to discuss building on a HiPop PvP server. Okay, so the chances of you actually getting hold of an AK or tier 3 workbench are remote, especially if you're solo, duo or trio. These base designs that I'm going to come up with today are specifically designed for solo, duo and trio. If you're going up to an 8-man grouping, fair enough. But this video is not designed for that. So first things first, where do you build? So first thing, as soon as you spawn into the map, as soon as you spawn into the game, look at the map. Have a look. Now it's probably going to be wipe day this Thursday, so again, you want to have a look at the map, see where you are. You're going to be starting on a coast. You will be starting on a coast somewhere, and when you're actually when you spawned in, obviously the first thing you do is you get stone tools and you build your stone tools and you're running around, you're trying to get wood, you're trying to get resources. What I suggest you do first is try and get enough cloth, 30 cloth, so that's 3 hemp plants, to build a bag. Because when you pick a place that you want to build, you don't want to build on the outer edge. At least not where you spawned in at. So let's say you spawned in this particular area over here by the abandoned supermarket. It is common to have an abandoned supermarket or an Oxham's gas station near where you spawn into. So you probably spawn in somewhere around here. Okay, well, run over here, get your food, whatever. But what I suggest is that you get cloth, 30 cloth, and immediately make a sleeping bag. If you start running into trouble, throw down the sleeping bag. Because what will happen then is if you get killed, you're not starting back over here. So let's say you make it over here, and you're running over here towards Satellite Dish, and someone starts attacking you over here in Y10. Throw down a sleeping bag. And if you die, you spawn back at the sleeping bag, and you're not starting all the way back over here. Later on, you can actually cancel these sleeping bags. If you die, there's a little X that you can just click on when it says whichever bag you want to spawn in at. Just cancel it. But for now, if you ever do that, just run to where you want to go and have a sleeping bag. When you've done that, get your bow and arrow, get your stone tools, and then start heading towards where you want to go. So I had a look at this map that we're on right now. Like I say, it's a big map. It's probably roughly about the same size as some of the PvP maps that you're going on. This is strictly PvE, it's player versus environment, which means players can't kill each other. Someone's just taken out the tank. Okay, so where would you build? Well, the first thing you're going to realize is that food and water are going to be a constant necessity for you. They're always going to be necessary, and that means if you're building in the center of the map, you're going to be hunting animals or hunting for mushrooms. I can't tell you the amount of times I've built on a server and I'm always starving. I'm always hungry. So some of the prime locations you can build in are these streams here. Now these are, so if I zoom in, hang on a second, zoom in. So these are places that are not really built on. People don't usually build around streams. They build boat houses maybe, but they're not really that popular. Now this might be popular because it's an Oxham's gas station, because the second thing you need to worry about is a recycler. So you need a recycler to obviously get your scrap and so on and so forth. But you don't want to be building too close to here. So I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of bases built around here, especially on a HiPop PvP server. You want to go somewhere where you can have action, but you're not going to get offline raided immediately. So there are hotspots essentially on the map. Hotspots are places where people really want to build. Now Zergs really want to build around launch site. It's extremely high in resources, in components, and they're more likely to find AKs and weapons, and especially really good is the Bradley itself. They will harvest and mine and destroy Bradley to get all the high tier weapons, M249s, things like that, so they can take down heli later on. So that's a really good one. The other one is the military tunnel. Now this one, it's in the snow biome. That will put a lot of people off. It's a point to consider where the military tunnel is. If it's in a desert biome or a forest biome, avoid it like the plague. A lot of people will build around there, and a lot of would-be solo or duo or trio people will try, and they'll just get raided within 24 hours, 48 hours, and they're off the game then. They're out. Train Yard's another popular one. Again, a lot of stuff in there, a lot of stuff. The newest one, the one that surprised me a lot, was water treatment. Water treatment these days seems to have an awful lot of resources in, and they're very easy to get. People are calling this the mini launch site. So it is a very, very good place to build, but again, a lot of other people have got the same idea. Sewer branch, again, that's another good one. But you want to be going for, if you're solo, duo, or trio, you want to be going for a low place to spawn. And a lot of people seem to follow the same idea, and they go to the mining outposts. Again, it's got a recycler there, that's great. It's got a few resources, not too many. So people generally tend to build around there, and you find a lot of solo, duo, trio in there. Abandoned supermarkets again. Oxham's gas station again. And there's another abandoned supermarket again. I mean, that'd be all right. With the mountainside and the snow and biome, it's inhospitable for players, and it's easy to get resources there like stone nodes and things. But again, I thought about that and I thought, you're constantly fighting the cold, you're constantly out gathering wood and stuff. So you want a place where you can build quietly, get your base up and running, and worry about fighting later on. Because the first thing you want to do is get your base down. You don't want to be PvPing on day one, at least not the smart people. So I had a look at the map and I thought to myself, where would be quiet but good for resources? So I thought, right, okay, there's this stream up here. Now don't forget, if you've got a boat, and the boats will be on this coastline, you can harvest components on the sea now. It's very important. A lot of people don't do that. Another thing is that you get animals along the coastline. Animals will concentrate on water supplies, especially fresh water supplies. This whole place will be peppered with animals, especially on the coast. If you ran from this coastline all the way up here, you get about 3 or 4 or 5 different animals, especially boars in the desert. If you're in the snow biome, bears are prominent. Wolves are really prominent in the desert, which means you can get the wolf headdress, which is a good piece of armor to get straight away. I thought about over here again, but I thought, a little bit too close to launch site. So the components are on the sea. You can also go to the harbour for recycling, but you're not too close to the harbour. So you've got a recycler there. And you've also got this very long road leading to 2 what I consider low tier monuments. The Junkyard and Satellite Dish. Now, to the Junkyard and Satellite Dish, people look at them and go, nah, they're garbage. Again, they've got recyclers, so what you can do is run over to the harbour, do a component run all the way down here, and recycle at Satellite Dish or recycle at Junkyard and run all the way back. And that's great. You get a lot of components, you get a lot of materials, components, and what is it? Scrap. Scrap is the other thing that you really need. So again, you've got a bit of a choice there, and again, this is going to be a place where it's low. It's not going to be hugely popular around here. Deserts and terrain is popular, but they'll be more concentrated around this area. You may run into 1 or 2 people, but again, you want to build your base. You want to get things set down. So I decided on this coastline over here, where there's lots of animals, where I can get me animal fat, and I can get resources, I can get trees, because these green bits are where you normally get trees. There's a little fresh water here. If I scroll in a lot, you've got a little bit of marshland here, so you can get fresh water in the marshland. And you can also get pumpkins and corn here. Now, pumpkins have recently been updated to hold 20 pumpkins per slot. I would use those pumpkins as medical syringes or bandages. Keep them they are instantaneous. They are really, really good for your health, and they're really easy to find now. And if you can hold 20 of them, that's better than bandages or syringes, because you can only hold 2 syringes and you only hold 5 bandages. Definitely use corn, or better still, the pumpkins, to heal, if you will. So let's have a look and see what I've done. Now the second thing, hang on a second, I'm just going to make it daylight. Let's have a look. Take this and go to this, because I want to do this in the daylight. Second thing I was considering is I want to build somewhere where I'm safe. I'm not going to be attacked all the time. Does that actually work? It should do. Oh, there it goes. So, again, where do I build? Well, there's a couple of places, a couple of bases I've chosen for you. I've designed for you. So, again, can you see my base? I mean, there's a base up there, but this is a PvE server, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But where'd you hide? Where would you hide your base? Because if you built a base like that on a PvP server, it would get raided easily. People will go for it. So I decided to build down here. Hide the base on the coastline. Now again, this is the Star of David base. A couple of people have come back to me and said a few things about it, and I thought, okay, I'll answer them questions as I go along. Now one of the first questions is, what design for the shooting gallery do you prefer? Well, I prefer this design. Like I say, I gave you a few options. Another one was someone said, yeah, you're great for protecting yourself from door campers, but people can hide underneath these the staircase over here and wait till you come out and then bang 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 to shoot you. Fine, okay. Well, you should be harvesting resources now. Just upgrade that to armored. I know it costs a little bit. What did it cost? 13 armor. Now they can't get underneath it, and I know it's gonna start putting some stuff into the TC, but again, we'll be looking at that. We're looking at that. It won't be that much, not for one armored staircase. Now they can't get underneath it. They're stuck. Can't hide. This has got advantages of a 360-degree shooting range. Again, you don't really need to worry about the sea, but you might be taking pot shots at people actually harvesting on a boat and then go out and get their stuff. So again, yeah, it can be useful. So let's go inside. Again, shotgun turrets. These are important. Put down the shotgun turrets and garage doors. There's 4 of them. You've seen this all before, but I'll go over it quickly. Armor up the floor so they can't get down to your loot room over here. So again, I got 4 boxes down here, 2 large boxes here, and I've managed to get a large box under there. Again, shotgun turret. Make sure this is furthest back, by the way. Don't let people see it. So it's crouched. Look at this wall, crouch and jump, and you will make it every single time. Again, keep this as far back as possible because you don't want them to be able to shoot it. So what they'll do is they'll put a ladder over here and try and angle at it. 27 or 28 bow and arrow hits will actually take that down, so you don't want that taken down. So put it back as far as you can, keep it difficult for them. Again, TC in there. Let's have a look at the damage. So the damage is 3,102, stone 1,476, 78 metal frags, and 3 high qual per day. So I don't think that staircase is going to be too much of a problem. Again, it's honeycombed. I'm going to discuss that in this. Actually, I should really discuss it now. Someone came up to me and said, right, okay, you can make this cheaper. So if I put this down here, as low as I can, let's put it in the water again. So there's the original design of the base, and then what I said is do that, and that's your honeycomb, as you can see over there. What they said was put it up one higher and do it that way. So, but do it my way and do it their way. There is a reason behind all this. And when you upgrade to stone, so mine will be like that. So it's costing a lot more actually. It is costing a lot more. So what's the big deal? Why not do this one and not this one? Well, if you're looking at it from the outside, to get through this honeycomb, you got to go 1, 2. To get through this, you got to do 1. So I prefer the protection. Use the honeycomb for what it's meant to be. So I wouldn't advise building the foundations higher like this, because in the end, it will only take 1. Well, it'll take 10 satchel charges or for rockets to go through that foundation, and then they're in the danger zone because they know that's a bunker base. They'll probably know it's a bunker base, and they'll be getting to your loot, and I want to protect my loot as much as possible. So I'd rather use 3 times the resources instead of 1 time resources to protect the loot. So again, the decision is yours, but again, I go for protection more than anything else. So you've seen this. Hang on, I'll go in through the base itself. So again, it's a lot of resources to get into this. Okay, so the shooting gallery. So crouch jump and then crouch jump again. The other complaint was there's not enough furnaces and there's not enough storage space. Well, you can put storage space up here. You can use these to shoot from, like this. You can use the different angles to shoot from. And you can use these boxes for storage. The other thing you can do is put another shotgun trap up here. It's a bit overkill, but again, you can stand on this shotgun trap. If I can just do that, and it gives you a further angle. So the other thing you can do is put a furnace up here, just a single one, and jump on it. And amazingly, you can do this, which somebody showed me, and I thought, wow. And again, gives you slight elevation so you can shoot down. Again, you can back up and move forward, and it gives you a little bit more. It surprised me that I didn't think that would actually work, but it does. It does. So again, some of the things you can do, again, these small boxes will fit over here. I prefer these walls, these half walls, when it comes down to protection. You can go for the low walls, but again, it doesn't really do that much protection for you. I prefer the high walls, the half wall, because it gives you a little bit more protection. You're getting shot at, you can duck, you can pop up, you can duck, you can pop up and duck like that. If you need a bit more elevation, you can put a big box down, and again, you've got really good sight. The other thing I like is these shop windows. Again, you can see, and they can't shoot through. They can't shoot through that. They have to blow that up, and that's stronger than a garage door. So it's 750. I think garage door's 600. Let me just double check. Where is it? Come here. Yeah, 600 for the garage door, and it's what was it? 750 for the shop window. Yeah, 750. So again, they're going to need rockets or C4 to get through that thing. The other thing you can do is, if you back up a little bit and jump crouch, you can put campfires down here. Now, these are not just for cooking. They're actually used for standing on. It gives you a slight bit of elevation, not much, but it gives you a little bit of elevation. Now, I'll talk about that later, but again, you can put small boxes down there. You can't put a large box down there and have this wall. So you have to make your decision on that. But again, these can be twig. They don't have to be stone. They can be twig, so you can knock them down and build them back up again. Okay, so that is Star of David base. There we go. Here we go. So that's the Star of David base. Again, I've got honeycomb on the roof. I got shotgun turrets in the honeycomb. Again, if you're gonna build these upper and lower windows, I haven't shown you how to do that. I'll show you how to do that now. Make sure that you've got that upgraded to metal. You don't need to worry about the floor. You don't need to worry about this, but make sure these are upgraded to sheet metal because they can pick through them. They can't pick through that. Soft side or hard side, doesn't matter. They're not going to break through that. Very quickly, how do you build the walls? A lot of people already know this, but again, I have to assume that people are new. So the way it works is you've got 2 half walls like that. Now if you try to knock down this one, the top one goes. So what you have to do is build a solid object next to it, so the top one has got something to hold on to. When I do that, this half wall stays in the air. Now again, if I destroy that, it goes. So what you do is you build a wall frame like that. And when you build the warframe, you do that, and you can take out the bottom one, and the top one stays, and then you just build the logo underneath it. So that's the technique behind it. Okay, so I think I promised in one of the other videos that I'd show you that, so I've done that now. So again, that's the design I like, that's the design I prefer. Again, it's a tough nut to crack. It's not unraidable, but it's definitely raid resistant. It will definitely cost them a small fortune in resources to get into it. So again, I'm hiding this base. See the way I'm hiding it? So if I was a player, I was up here, I'm hiding. You can't really see it unless you're going on a boat along the ocean. And again, it's the resource, it's low in resources and it's high in protection. Okay, so the second base design that I've come up with, now we need to look at this very, very closely. Now this is for a duo or a trio. Now this is a monster of a base. It looks bigger, but originally it just started as the unraidable base. You'll see parts of it that look like the unraidable base. It's just a 3x3. There's a 3x3 there. I'll show you inside in a second, but that's all it is. This is an extension of it. This is essentially a boat base with a 3x3 attached. So again, we come inside, and I'll show you a few little tricks. Again, shotgun trap on the door. This should be second nature now. Little extra little trap thing you can do here is these cell doors. And put a flame turret. Don't put a shotgun turret because the shotgun shells tend to hit the jail cell and they kind of spread, so it doesn't really work. Flames really do go through this quite nicely. So here again, garage doors. It's all tier 1. Usually you find these in boxes. Little trick for you. Little thing you can do. Again, this is just for view, just to spot people coming at you. Right, okay, look at my health. It's on 70. Now, usually I would use a medical syringe, I'd use a bandage, or I'd eat food to actually heal. Well, if you get a rug, which they pop up all the time in boxes, and you find a blueprint for a chair, sit in the chair. Hang on, can I sit in this chair? Is it going to let me? It was letting me before. Why are you not letting me sit on you now? Hang on a second, I'll just pick this up. Strange. Okay, so can I sit in this chair now? It's not letting me sit in the chair. Okay, we'll try again. Whoops. Bit of lag spike there. We'll just put it over here. So again, now look at the right hand side of the screen. It should come up in a second. It's not really coming up actually. Oh, I'm too hot. Right, okay, so take some clothes off. Okay, now it's doing it. Comfort is now at 43. Comfort is at 64. Comfort is at 85. Comfort is now at 100. And look at my health. 75. 76. 77. And that'll go all the way to 100. That's with a chair and a rug. Okay, so you don't need medical syringes or food to actually heal. You can actually heal by sitting down on a chair. Okay, so again, I'll just pick that up. I actually wanted the nice little pretty view for some reason. It's not letting me do it. Hang on. So pick up. You don't damage it by picking up and dropping off this thing. So I can just sit there like that. Doesn't give me as much nicer view, but again, you can tailor it to suit your own needs. So that's a little viewpoint there. Again, garage doors are good. If you get them, learn them as fast as possible. This is a little shooting range here. I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay, so you got the shooting range here. If you die, the materials are going to stay inside the base, so you can loot your own body. Again, I put a nice little. People don't use these, but it stops people griefing your base. They get hurt if they get too inquisitive or they try and loot you in a rush. This will actually stop them. This will hurt them. So it just prevents them looting your body through the window if they try and if they kill you. Again, sheet metal up the tops and the sides so they can't actually poke through. I realized that they could hit this wall over here, this one, so I decided to sheet metal that up. I just had a look. This floor is not. It's not going to make a difference. That's not soft-sided. It's a foundation, so there's no soft sides with foundations. But walls, yeah, definitely. Again, just a little shooting gallery. Oh yeah, the little trick I told you. Right, okay. Let's just give me a shotgun trap for a second. Dun 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 dun. Shotgun trap. Right, okay. Shotgun traps. Oh god, didn't work. Come on. There it goes. Now if I put a shotgun trap down here, it actually doesn't work. Only half the spray will come out of it. So I was thinking, how can we fix that? Can we do anything about that? Well, you can. You only need 5 rugs to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what happens is they stack on top of each other, and it elevates the shotgun trap. And now, believe it or not, just that little difference, that shotgun trap now points directly outwards. It points directly outwards, and it's elevated enough to take them out. So again, use that nice little neat trick, and again you can just pick up these rugs, and they don't get damaged. So you can use that to elevate the shotgun trap. You only need 5 to do it, so it's not that bad. Again, I should have put a box under there, but I didn't. So I've got garage doors down. Oh yeah, another shotgun trap. This again is another shooting gallery. Again, I've elevated this shotgun trap. So again, I've got a little bit extra cover with these double doors instead of a garage door. So it just gives me a little bit more help, and I can close them and get fully protected. The garage doors are a little bit slow. These are a little bit faster. So again, think about it, see what you want. This is the main loot room. Got tier 2 there. I worked out that you can actually get 4 large boxes with a TC behind it on these shelves with a shotgun trap. It's a little bit finicky, but it does work. These pop out a bit, but it does actually work. And it's sometimes a little bit of a struggle, but you can actually just about get to the TC. So again, the upkeep on this base is 6,000 stone and just under 2,000 metal frags. So that's 6 stone nodes and about what's that? It's about 4 metal nodes per day. That's no hardship. That's no hardship. Let's get dressed again. Be a little bit decent. So again, garage door on front of that. Extra loot spaces here, and your furnace is here with a nice little shotgun trap here. And when you log out at the end of the night, just pick up these and my little trick. You've got your secret stashes under here. I only put 4 down. I just despawned one. Okay, and when you're done for the day, just put the furnaces down again. Obviously, do it a little bit better than I'm doing it. You can rotate the furnaces. So, do it a little bit better than I'm doing it. Okay. So that's your loot room all protected. And this is the extension. This is the boathouse. So again, I put this down here. It's tier 1. It's just a shop window, but it lets me look inside the extension without actually risking my life. Again, I've got a shotgun trap here. Little unknown fact, this is a little boathouse, is that you can put a fishing trap inside the boathouse. Why bother? Well, obviously you can put human meat in here, but you get these large trouts, and when you gut them, they give you animal fat and food and bones. So again, this is something you want to think about. Remember, you can use human flesh as well, so you can use your own body or bodies of players that you've killed to stick in there. It's really good. And these fish here, again, you can just eat them raw. You don't need to cook them, so it saves you a bit of wood as well. Okay, some of the other things that I was doing here. I wanted to show you, this is a little demonstration here of different types of elevation. So essentially I built a shootout area here for people on boats, and you can shoot them on the horizon. But I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to get killed. So I first off tried building it down here, and I realized, that's great. And you can't put boxes on water, by the way. You can put very few items on the actual water. So I thought, that's not really much good. So I was about to scrap it, and then I thought, hang on a second, I like that level. But the problem is that it was too... I'm not getting a very good sight. If they're really close, that's great. but it's not that good. So what I came up with is there's 3 levels that you can actually use to actually elevate yourself to get a good angle. So you got the large box and you got the small box, but you've also got this campfire. And when I noticed, when you stand on the campfire, you got the perfect angle, absolute perfect angle, and I like this angle. So I decided to keep this entire area. Okay, and again, there's another one over here. So again, this is a bit of a variation. So you can now jump, crouch up here. Now, I was a bit skeptical about these barricades on top, because I thought if these are on top, I'm going to hit my head on them. But apparently, the admins have updated that now. That's a new thing I didn't know about. So you're not actually going to get damage from having spikes on the ceiling. So that's good. Again, I was crouching and I thought, it's just a tad too low. Put a campfire down. Now I've got the perfect angle, and there's a rise on this, so if you back up a bit, you can get a nice shot all the way around. All the way around. So again, just an idea, just a few ideas. Again, it's a boat base, so you can take your boat out. The boats, the way they work, they will decay if direct sunlight is actually hitting them. Think of them as the opposite of a plant. If there's no light on the boat, it will stay as is. If there's light on the boat, it will decay. So, obviously you can repair this just with wood and metal frags. It's got a little bit of storage up here. I do have another base where you can store the much larger boat. It's called the rib boat for some reason. Again, getting more fish there. So if you look at the base, you've got an awful lot of lookouts for players who might be scouring the base. You've got a lot of protection while you're offline. And again, it's going to be a total pain in the backside to raid this base. It's hidden on this cliffside, so I actually managed to save a bit of resources by saving on honeycomb here. Because they will not be able to raid that. And don't forget, the TC is in this square over here, storage is over here, and the furnaces are over here. So this is the most vulnerable part of the base, and I've got it right next to a cliff face. It's going to be incredibly difficult to get to. Somebody gets smart and tries to jump off. Again, they're going to get hit. This is a bit overkill, to be honest with you, but I just thought showed you a demonstration of what you can actually do. It is overkill, I know it is. But if you can put these traps, these barbed wire, what are they called again? Keep forgetting. So it's in items. What the hell are they called? Yeah, barricades. That's it. I mean, it's not that much. It's 300 wood, 50 metal frag. Oh no, it's not that one. It's the other one, isn't it? Because there's 2 of them. There it is. 300 wood and 1 rope. It's not impossible to get that. But again, it's what you want to it's what you want to do. And then finally, so these are the 2 hidden bases. We're taking advantage of the cliff face, and we're taking advantage of being by the sea. And this, if you're solo, I would build this. If you're duo or trio, I would build this. If you're going bigger, or slash test, you can do this. This is another way of hiding your base. If the game will load in time. Come on. Don't tell me it's going to crash. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the other way. You can actually hide the base inside a cave. Just like this. I mean, this is old school Rust, this. Hiding inside a cave like this. It's not an underground cave, it's an above ground cave. So to actually show you the structure, I've got a little cheat here. So I go to construction. I can actually turn all the walls off. So you can see here, the original place that I actually started was the TC in this little alcove here. So this little alcove here is where I originally placed the TC. And when I build these bases that are inside these caves, if you like, I use triangles. I don't use squares. They are much more builder friendly because it means you can do more stuff with them. There's all these are triangles. Not one of them is a square. Never build squares when I build bases like this, because it just means you can put down more strange angles and double up on things. The other thing you can do is elevate and lower foundations, and when you do that, you can do these strange sort of builds where everything's like half doors, things like that. It confuses players and all sorts of other things. Again, you can double stack furnaces like this. This is the raid room where you can keep all your tools or your equipment, and you can quickly go in and go out. But again, you're protected. So if I go back, if I turn that construction back off, you're protected in 4 different ways. You're protected from the left, you're protected from the right, you're protected from above, and you're protected from below. So the only place you've really got to worry about is the front of the base and the back of the base. And this is where you should be concentrating all your resources. Now, notice that I haven't built out further than the curvature of the cave, because these are indestructible. They cannot be broken. No explosive, no rocket, no nothing can get through that. So again, what I decided to do was honeycomb as much as possible on this. So there's 4 garage doors there. There's also another door, and with these triangles, I can put down as many doors, as many garage doors as I want. I've got a nice shotgun trap there. That might go through the walls, but again, I've honeycombed all this. So again, it's going to be an awful lot to do this. So let's go through. I got furnaces down all over the place. Didn't I? Oh yeah. Okay. So again, this is another demonstration of a trick you can do. If you build twig and put shotgun traps above it, they won't actually see the shotgun traps. They'll just see that as twig. They walk in, but the shotgun traps will see them through the twig and shoot them and kill them. So again, there's another little trick you can do. Another shotgun trap there. Let's open this again. Let's go through these doors. I'm going to start keeping them open now. TCs, you can stack them all side by side, and they will fit in one square if you stack them like this. There's just a space saver there. You got some extra storage boxes on a shelf there, 2 half walls. And you can build, well, you know, it's not 2 half walls, it's just a half wall like this. Hang on, if I can spam. That's not very good space, that. So it's just a half wall like that, and then put a triangle on top of it, and then destroy the half wall underneath. That's how you do it. So again, you can do storage space here. This is the crafting room, if you like. What else have we got? So again, if you want to get access to these furnaces, use this ladder. You can stack all your furnaces like that nice and easily. We've been in there, and then that's just another little storage space you can do there, so you can jump up and get access to the boxes just like that. That's easily done. Let's have a look. So again, you can fit 3 furnaces in one of these triangles. Okay, so this is the TC. This is something I'm seeing a lot more of, so I thought I'd better show you. Okay, well, so what they've done is they're actually preventing, if that TC gets destroyed, actually there should be a code lock on it. Make sure there's a code lock on it, that would be a good idea. Just like that. Okay, so again, this base design is 6,726, 900 metal frags, and 3 wood, because for that twig foundation that we put down. So again, it's more stone than anything else, but again, this prevents people from looting the TC, because if you break that TC, you get this little grey parcel and you can't actually loot it through this. So the other things people do to do protection is that they put window bars on, and then they put horizontal metal embrasures or vertical. It doesn't really matter, but you can still access it. You can still access it with all this gobbledygook on it, but they can't. They've got to destroy they've got to destroy this, which is 500. Then they've got to destroy these metal bars, which is another 500. So there's 1,000. Then they've got to destroy the TC itself, which is 100. And even then, they're not going to get the loot. Then they've got to destroy this. So it's 2,000 to actually get through to that TC. Again, have a think. I honeycomb that side, so have a think, and I put sheet metal that side if I remember correct. Yeah, I did. So have a think about that. Again, check out from above. This really annoyed people. Okay, so what I deliberately did was I put workbench level 3. Now have a look. Right, this is 500 and it's easy to break. This is 750. It's not that easy to break. This is really tricky to break. And again, I've put that over the TC. So again, that's 1,000 to break that, and it's going to be what, 600. So it's 1,600 to get through that. You're going to need C4 or rockets. They're going to have to destroy all those things to get to the TC. So again, have a think what you want to do. I mean, this was just something I came up with in 5 minutes. I mean, you can put a lot more effort into it than I have. But just get the TC down first. So get rid of construction. So get this TC down first in this nice little alcove here. Get that down first. That's the important thing. Build out with triangles all the way across, but don't go beyond the overhang of the cave. Don't go beyond that, because then they can just jump down and then come from above and go all the way through, no matter how much honeycomb you've got. So again, if you have a look, take that construction off. You can see, not gone beyond the overhang. Don't do that. The overhang is the maximum size of your base. I'll go through to the other side. You can see I've not gone beyond the overhang. That's the other side. So the overhang dictates the overhang of the cave dictates the size of the base. So again, that's a pretty steady base design. You can have a look at it and decide for yourself what you want to do. Again, I wouldn't build it too close to a monument, but again, you don't really have a choice with these caves. You can build underground caves, sure. A lot of people say, why build in the desert? You tend to see the nodes a lot easier. So there's a stone node, there's stone things there. Trees are a bit scarce. Another thing people say is that you don't get cloth, and water is always a problem. No, you can get tons of water and tons of cloth in the desert. All you need to do is find a cactus and start hitting it. Now granted, I'm on a multiplier here, but you will get cloth, and you will get cactus, and you will get cloth. So again, linked in with the fishing net in your base, you've got low grade fuel. So, and you've got food, and you've got water. So again, you can even stock the fishing trap with the raw fish. That actually does work. So human meat is actually more preferable. So if you're starting to die, just F1 kill yourself, hack up your own body and put it in the fish trap. So again, have a think about it. Some people build like this, so because they know that on these streams there is pumpkin. There they are, pumpkins. These are stacked to 20 now. So we'll just show you. That's 16. Where's another pumpkin? There, they're stacked to 20 now. As another little added bonus, you can actually put them on your head, like that, and they actually do give you a little bit of protection. Not much, but they do. And you can eat them instead of health. So let's see if I can just hurt myself just a little bit. So yeah, I'm on 94. Oh, hang on, let's do a little bit more. Let's hit myself a little bit more. And there, I'm 64 now. So if I was healing, can I show you better? They're just as good as a medical syringe. So let's have a look. Healing is 10. A medical syringe is 10. So, and it gives you food and hydration at the same time. So I would actually use them over syringes now. Much better. See by the sea. You get the pigs, the boars, and I'll find a lot more. You get the boats easily as well. So again, have a think. Decide on what you want to do. So where was I? I was up here somewhere. So I was over here. So you've got plenty of cloth. You do have plenty of wood. These trees here will give you a lot of wood. Don't assume that just because they're small and they're thin that you don't get wood from them. You will get wood from them, a lot of wood. Almost as much as a large tree. That's a dense forest, that. Okay, so you do get wood. You just got to go and look for it. So here we are. The 2 base designs, or if you build, so that's if you're a solo. That's if you're a solo, duo, or trio. The solo, it's a bit too much. And if you're a big, if you want a big base, you've got the cave base. But again, these bases are hidden. That's one of the key points. I don't just stick it out in the middle of nowhere, or by a monument, or by a road. These bases are hidden. I can build my base with stone nodes and trees and things like that, but components I can go out for later. There's no risk. I'll go out with a bow and arrow and go out and get components. I'm not worried about components. What I'm worried about is the base, because without the base I can't store anything. Without the base I can't craft anything. Without the base I can't feed myself or cook food. So the base comes first, PvP comes second, components comes third. So again, you got your components here on these, I don't even know what to call them, floats, I suppose. And again, you've got your boat base there if you want to do that. You can even build these separately if you want. You can build your solo base and then build a boat base afterwards and have no risk of them getting to your loot. So again, you've got all these things here. I'm going to see if I can spot one. Oh, here's the large boat. They call this the Rib for some reason. It's an acronym. It does stand for something. I'm just trying to see if I can find one. I might not be able to find one in time. There's these little empty bottles that float on the water. There's one. Okay, there's one. There's one right there. So these empty bottles that float on the water. So I'm just going to spawn something in for a second just to show you. So it's in attire and it's in goggles. I'll need to go into God mode for this. Right, so give me 1 second. Come on. God troop. Okay, so got the goggles on. You're going to need swimming gear for all this. So when you go under the ground, directly underneath the empty bottle, you will find boats like this that have crates on them, and what you do is you just untie them like this. It takes forever. I wish the devs would actually make this quicker. I don't understand why it takes this long. It seems a bit silly to me, but okay, just have to live with it for now. But you get the small boxes and you also get the big boxes. So again, these float to the top. You can't actually search them. They float to the top like this, and then when you're above the water, why is that looking like that? You can get stuff out of them. Okay, so why is that black? I have no idea. So again, you just untie them like this. I'm not going to stick around and do this because it's quite boring. But oh, there's a large box right there. So these usually have some good stuff in. So let's have a look. So again, you'd have a boat above, and they don't despawn. I think it takes about 15 minutes for these things to actually despawn. So take your time. Oh, someone's taking the tank. So again, these boxes, they come out like this, and you open them. Oops, go a bit closer. You open them, and you can see obviously there's a lot of loot. I mean, this is boosted obviously, but again, you do get some good stuff in there. Let's get rid of this. Okay, final thing. If you do want to build this, it's the only way I know you can do it. Oh yeah, and if somebody starts getting a little bit nosy, you can put these traps. So hang on, let me just find them. Traps. There they are. Wooden floor spikes. You can put them underwater, and they're very difficult to see, but they hurt. Remember, I'm in God mode, so they do hurt, and they slow you down tremendously. In case these people try to, you can see them there, but underwater they're a lot more trickier to see. So yeah, the last one. Home boat. So this is the only way I know how you can contain the large boat by using this thing. Oops, did I actually leave that open? Yeah, this is the only way I know how to do it. I have to put a large gate down. You can do it with a wooden gate as well. Yeah. So again, you can do this with a large gate, but that's the only way I know you can store these boats, by building a large gate like this. It's a little tricky because you have to get it really close because they won't snap to walls. Ooh, that's garbage, isn't it? One shooting for doing that one. Never soft side. Oh, by the way, you can rotate. I didn't know this, but you can actually rotate the wall. So that's hard side, that's soft side, so that's hard side. So when I do that, I'm not constantly rotating the wall. So again, that's the only way I know to do it. This is quite big, but again, I had a problem putting the foundation down because it wouldn't go down in shallower water, so I had to make this quite big. But again, that's the only way I know how to do this, to store a large boat. So I would stick to the smaller boats. Again, this is some of the tricks I do. There's the 3 workbenches all in a row. Let's just destroy that in a second. So there's the 3 workbenches all in a row. You can put boxes down or lamps down, whatever you need to. So again, this is just a little bit of fun. I want to have a little bit of a boat base. Again, this is very big for what it is. I wouldn't bother trying to store these. They're fun for the moment, but you can't get them through a garage door. They won't fit through a garage door. This is the only door that they will fit through. So again, have a play around with some of the ideas I've given you. You know, see the way people are building next to, you know, let's get rid of some of these trees. So clutter and trees, and boom. So people build close to these. This is a new spawn. This is a fresh player. So they build next to these mining outposts. Occam's, no one's. Oh no, sorry, it's a water. So again, have a think. The lighthouse again is another low tier one. So you could build bases. These people have built bases over here as well. So this is a decayed base, poor thing. Is it? So again, these are what people are building. This one's hugely protected. I wouldn't go to stone walls. Stone walls are a problem because people think you've got loads of loot. As soon as you start putting high stone walls down, people think you've got loot. So I wouldn't bother. So my name is Mark10967. If you like these videos, please hit subscribe and I'll make some more for you. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. Okay, thanks for watching.